Hey everybody, Aaron Cowan, Sage Dynamics. In this week's questions answered video, question is, what kind of bourbon do I drink? It's actually a good question. I never said the questions had to be firearms, training, or tactics related, so that's pretty cool. If you follow me on Instagram or you've been through a class or something like that, or you've, however you came about the knowledge, you know that I'm into whiskey, I'm into bourbon. I'm not what you consider a connoisseur, I guess is the word you could use. I'm not snobbish about it, but I do enjoy a good whiskey or a good bourbon. But because I am pedantic by nature and I like to know as much about something I'm interested in as possible, I've done a lot of pretty good research into bourbon. And one of the cool things that I found, may not be cool for you depending on what you're drinking, is the fact that a large majority of bourbon that's on the market actually comes from the exact same place regardless of whose name is on the label. Lawrenceburg, Indiana, not to be confused with the other famous Lawrenceburg, a company called MGP. They manufacture bourbon at wholesale for people to buy and brand and do their own thing. So a little bit off topic, but we're getting there. If you're getting into bourbon, you're getting into whiskey, and it says aged 10 years, but you've never heard of this company before, and it looks like they just went into business, chances are that's where that bourbon came from. So it's definitely something to watch out for. Not a big deal, it's still gonna be good bourbon, but it definitely teaches you the fact that some things are not always what they seem. So with that out of the way, and not really related to the topic, my go-to bourbon is Bulleit. I'm not a big rye fan. I don't like the taste of rye, be it in my liquor or in my sandwich or in my bread. So Bulleit's kind of my go-to. It's the bourbon that I'd be willing to mix if I was gonna do a mix or something like that. Special occasion, Blanton's is really good. I'm also not afraid of your whiskeys such as Jameson. I prefer that in a shot glass form, generally chilled, but I'm not afraid of neat whiskey. And yes, I will drink bourbon with ice cubes. I know to some people that's some kind of travesty. I'm not that big of a purist because sometimes with some of your sharper whiskeys and your sharper bourbons, the general gentle melting of the ice cubes helps unlock flavors that you wouldn't get if you were using stones or you're drinking it neat. So it's all about how much time you're going to invest in the drinking of the bourbon or the drinking of the whiskey. But yeah, Blanton's is kind of my special occasion, but I'm not against things like the Hibiki or some of the other similar Harmony brands or mixed brands like that. And of course the question can come up, why would I use ice cubes versus whiskey stones? I don't like whiskey stones. I don't like any sort of whiskey frozen media in my glass. I just like ice cubes for the same reason that I don't like Dijon mustard or mint ice cream. It's not for everybody. So again, some people get a little pedantic, more pedantic than me, which sometimes is really hard to do, about what they like with their whiskey, what they don't like with their whiskey, what they like with their bourbon, what they don't like with their bourbon. But the question was asked to me what bourbon I prefer. Like I said, my go-to is Bulleit, and my special occasion is Blanton's. And of course, there's some other brands out there that I enjoy as well, but those are the two that I commonly have in the house at all times. And if you haven't guessed, this is my holiday episode. So I just want to go ahead right now and wish everyone a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. My Black Patchers, my Red Patchers, my alumni, and for those of you that are taking a class from me in 2017, again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys in the new year.